Military Broadcast Radio, the station that's giving veterans a voice.
Find us on the web at mbradio.us.
This entire military is one cohesive, dedicated force. And the threats to our nations, they don't sleep. They're watching our every move. Iran, Russia, China, North Korea, ISIS, Al-Qaeda. They may be watching this right now. Our military should not be mistaken for a cable news gabfest show. We don't care what you look like. We don't care who you voted for, who you worship, what you worship, who you love. It doesn't matter if your dad left you millions when he died or if you knew who your father was. We have been honed into a machine of lethal moving parts that you would be wise to avoid if you know what's good for you. We will not be intimidated. We will not back down. We've seen war. We don't want war. But if you want war with the United States of America, there's one thing I can promise you, so help me God. Someone else will raise your sons and daughters.
Opinions expressed in this program are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of any entities.
Turnbuckles and Stogies. Yo, what is up? What is up? Yo, happy Sunday. Another Sunday with your favorite hostess with the mostest.
My dad, I'm doing a wrestling punch. I looked at her and I said, hey, what part of Brooklyn are you in?
We're not in Brooklyn, sir. We're in upstate New York in Dutchess County. I'm originally from Yonkers.
So wait a minute. I guess you guys don't know each other that well.
Oh,
So, guys, we're back. Continuation of our interview where we were.
I got my I don't give a fuck hat on.
We're gonna reiterate a couple of little things and then keep on going. So,
gotta put your I don't give a fuck hat on. You gotta keep that on all the time, man.
Got my I don't give a fuck hat on.
Yeah.
So for people who watched it and didn't catch it, where do you make your cigars? What factory, if you can tell us?
You should tell you make a factory, you make good shit. El Fuente out of Dominican Republic, and we also make cigars with one of AJ's factories in Nicaragua.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. So let's get back.
If somebody don't tell you that shit, if they scared and tell you NDA, tell them go suck a rock, and you fucking lie.
Just tell them go suck a dick.
I didn't say that. I said a rock.
Look,
pause.
Tell me more about this one, bro, because I'm enjoying the shit out of it.
Triple pause on that other one. So that one is a Corojo wrapper with it's actually Pennsylvania broadleaf binder and Esteli Nicaragua from all three regions in the filler. So you got all three of the regions in the filler. So everything again is processed in one place. The Pennsylvania broadleaf and all that stuff is not like done overnight. And it's actually that cigar was finished. It's 25. That cigar was finished in 22. So it's sitting there for a while.
So it's sitting 3 years as you're
So
smoking.
how did you come up with the name Carolina Blue? Just
no, it when I started, because all the cigars had Latin names or they have funny names, and people remember things from some simplicity. So my thought was, working in the tobacco fields and it'd be hot as fuck, and then you look up and the skies are Carolina blue. So the motto of the company,
big Mexican hat on.
Yeah, the motto of the company pretty much is you can smoke a Carolina blue. You can smoke a Carolina blue cigar all over the world under Carolina blue skies, because on any day, any part of the planet, if it's nice outside, the skies are Carolina Blue.
Exactly. That's actually, it's so simple, but it makes so much sense.
Yeah, simple. Yeah.
So go ahead
And
and
if I'm in some place in New Mexico, like, yeah, I had this cigar. It was like a Carolina cigar. Like, oh, you mean a Carolina Blue? Yeah. But if it was some other name, you like, not making fun of
I had a
anybody's name.
Fuente cigar. I had a Davidoff
Which
paper
one?
cigar.
But yeah, they know, everybody knows Davidoff. But originally I had Carolina Blue on the band itself. Then I used to catch so much flack with that. They're like, oh, this is Carolina Panther cigar, or oh, this cigar. I'm like, okay, y'all tripping. Let me fix it and make it simple, and I just put the initials.
You got Carolina Blue.
But you know what? They don't ask the question no more because all they do is the initials.
I like the way you did the bands and the putting the CBC on there. Like, did you have somebody make the bands for you? Did you kind of come up with the designs yourself?
Somebody made it for me, but when we were changing the name, I said, let's flip the band upside down, because originally the band was the other way. I said, and I just wanted to be initials. So we kept playing with it and playing with it and playing with it and playing with it. I said, just put the C underneath the CB, like an ashtray. They're like, what?
Right. I said to Joey, I said, what the hell is that saying? He goes, Carolina Blue. I said, there's only a C and a B. He goes, no, look at the
because I told him, I said it's Carolina Blue. You got the CB in the middle. That's what it says. I said, and then the other C is down below.
Yeah, like ashtray. Yeah. So that's kind of how it works.
Very smart. So ask him what you ask him.
I did with the factories.
Yeah. I'm gonna tell you who I make, because you know why? I want them to make money. If they make,
I've never heard of the El Fuente factory. That's why
I'm gonna tell you who they make. Let me tell you everybody who they make, because you'd be surprised. I'm gonna call them out.
Go ahead, do it.
We make La Aurora, one of their lines. We're making all the Gurkha stuff, the Ghost, everything that they putting out right now. We making it. We're making Kappa. Kappa's probably in Kappa's in Europe. Kappa Cigars is a big cigar company in Europe. We made Blondie cigars. You know Blondie, right? Yeah, we make theirs. We made the one of the release before for Kappa Cuevas. We made Casa Cuevas. We made one of their releases.
Wow.
We made one of their releases. Should I can go on and on and on, bro?
Okay. Now I know what what they make. Now I okay.
Yeah, so but you gotta remember, this is what people gotta remember too. Even though a factory may make a lot of stuff, it's not like we're gonna change it. You know what I'm saying? They already got their blend how they want it. Because I can say like Gurkha, they let me smoke it. I'm like, oh, these should be good. Then I smoke it. I'm like, what happened? They wanted it that way. Like,
yes, the Ghost has changed. Because I was a big Ghost fan. The Ghost has changed.
Yeah, they wanted it that. They wanted how it is now. I'm like, okay.
Yeah,
I remember the original Ghost that came out.
It's not as strong. The Maduro is not as strong as it used to be.
No, and they want everybody like La Aurora. They wanted to keep it a certain way. And it might be we was making it because they didn't have enough people to make it, and then we just made it a little better. And they did it, but it's fine. But they want it that way. Like when I do it,
La Aurora makes sense because they don't make a whole lot of very strong cigars, but they make very flavorful cigars.
Right.
So that's understandable, and I love La Aurora. I'm not going to sit here and say I don't. I think their cigars are great. The Ghost, I'm a little disappointed in because that was
I used to love the Ghost.
That was my one big thing with Gurkha. Was that cigar was they'd be like, oh, Gurkhas are. I'm like, listen, try the Ghost. Trust me, try the Ghost.
And it was like
it'll change your perception on Gurkha. And now it's like they're like, I'm like out of the Ghost. It was good.
When I walk in the store, like, don't you want the Ghost? I'm like, nah, I'm good.
The only one I like that they have now is the San Miguel.
I mean,
And the San Miguel, that's only because it's made by Aganorsa for Gurkha.
And the thing, once I got more into the business, I understood what Gurkha was doing. And I don't want to say I lost respect for them, but I'm like, how can you have everybody under the sun trying to make something for you? But I understand that you're a marketing giant. I get it. So I'm like, okay, Ghost. No, I mean, okay, Gurkha, that's fine. Do what you got to do to make money.
Chris, let me ask you this. Are you an owner of any factory or not?
No, I would not want to do that. Hell no. But I'm very much, in other words, at times the respect that people give me that I work with, it seems like I'm part of the ownership team.
I was going to say, you have just about the same privileges as an ownership does.
Yeah. So they'll tell me when they have good tobacco. They'll tell me this and tell me that. But it's not out there. I'm going to put it this way. Ask me that question in 2 years after this right here happens. And then, because this right here, I think the timing happened perfectly, and the people that I'm working with on it, they see things are gonna be different in another year or so because of these cigars.
Again, I can see how that's gonna happen.
Yes,
bro. This is right now. If this was another cigar, I'd probably put it out. But this one right here, not because you're on here, but bro, this one right here is killing me.
Good. It should. But all of our cigars are good. You know what I'm saying? So people sleep on. I mean, just call it spade a spade. People sleep on Carolina Blue. I don't know why. Maybe because I'm not with a big brand box brand. But I keep saying all the time, and I again, if you're with the big box brand, I get it. So let's just think about it. Let's just take it and let's just take it like it is. Yes, I have a little bit more connection to what I need, but I have to really and my factory is making all these cigars for these other larger companies. So the respect level that we have for each other, and they understand how much I'm in the business, they give me that respect to give me the first dibs. Like, again, I'm gonna give you another one. I have an Aparaca. I've been looking for Aparaca tobacco for about 4 years, because I have another blend that I wanted to do, and we finally have it. So we're gonna bring out an Aparaca Perfecto for my Limitado that's gonna come out soon. And they called me to say, "Hey, we got this Aparaca. Let's go ahead and get that cigar you've been trying to do out, for a while." I'm like, cool. If I was just coming off the street trying to do that, nobody's gonna call you and say, "Oh, I got this rare,
right,
whatever it is." So this is what I try to tell people: you have to build relationships with who you're working with first, because if I'm running a company and you want to be like let me make stuff for you. It's no way if I'm making shit at 10 that I'm going to give you 10. I'm not going to give you 10 products unless you're actually paying for deliberately. You know what I'm saying? It's just like if we go into Costco or whatever, you have the major brands, even though some of them are very close together, then you have the one underneath, you know what I'm saying, that everybody might be able to get. So it's like Lexus and Toyota. Same company. Lexus is on a different level. Toyota is right under it, but compatible. You know what I'm saying? And so it's like that in cigars.
Let me ask you.
There we go.
Okay, we're back.
After
I think it's like if there's certain people some weird stuff.
That's the first time I ever heard of that.
Say that again. I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. One more time. We're getting that feedback of that crazy internet stuff going on. But say it one more time.
All right, give me Aparaca. What is that?
Oh, Aparaca. Aparaca.
Yeah.
Aparaca is a Brazilian tobacco, and Monofina. Drew Estate uses a lot of Monofina. Aparaca is used a lot of by Fuente, the big guys. It's a very sweet Maduro. Very sweet, very hard to get now because of COVID. When COVID happened, Brazil went through a lot in their COVID stage. And did I lose you guys? I did. Okay, you bring me back. Can y'all guys hear me? Can y'all guys see me? You're in the show. I'm in the show. Sometimes that StreamYard gets a little crazy. See all my stuff. Did I lose my guess? Is this my show now? Because your ratings are going to triple if this is my show. No, they recorded. That's fine. No, they had a technical difficulty. Sometimes StreamYard acts a little crazy.
I fixed it.
Okay. It's hot down here. Oh, y'all back? Y'all got technical difficulties?
Yeah,
StreamYard, bro.
It draws so much English sometimes, freezes, and then you have to close completely out of Chrome.
Go back in. Yeah. That's what I've been on here before, and you're getting that StreamYard problems. It's a good program, but sometimes it acts a little crazy. Oh, can't hear y'all. Where you go?
One, two.
There we go. So the microphones died.
All right, that's fine.
That is what it is. I can charge that. Okay. So yeah, so that wrapper and that binder, that apapiraca, I've heard of it before because people have used it in the past. And
yes, it's from Brazil. Drew State uses a lot of it. Not aparaca, but Fuente uses it. A lot of people use it in their filler. I know Drew State used Monofina on their wrappers. I think they use it in their ligas.
Probably the 9.
Yeah, and sometimes in the Papas Fritas. Sometimes I think.
Yes.
And then McAuliffe used to have. I don't know if they still do. They used to have the Modafina McAuliffe cigar too.
Yeah. So that's all from Brazil. Aparaca is really sweet, really good. If you get a good priming, and finally we got that, and I'm happy with that. So we can put the Limitada back out there. Since Pennsylvania broadleaf is hard to get as well, so I want to do an Aparaca one. So that's going to be exciting for next year. But stuff like that, because of the COVID and Brazil, it hit Brazil really hard with the fields, and a lot of their tobacco can't be used for wrappers. Now you can use it, but it's not presentation worthy. So you can use it for binder or filler, and I finally have some wrappers that I can use finally after so many years. So I'm excited about these cigars that's coming out. More so that one and the Platinum Corojo. These are the ones that you're smoking now. Is probably the elite of the elite.
Goddamn.
I mean, again, this is another one, like you said, that it puts you, by putting this one out, and it's got that age on it, both of them, it puts you on a different level because you take and I think my biggest take from you and a couple of other people is you guys take the time to let the cigar properly age and marinate and kind of get it together and make sure that it's where you want it. Because a lot of people will blend for market, but a lot of people we've spoke to blend for their palates.
That's crazy. It's crazy. I mean, I know a lot of people who do that too. They're like, "Oh, I like this cigar. It sell well." Okay, and so, but me, I get a cigar after it's done, and I'll go sit somewhere, and I'm thinking what the customer would think. Like, the customer's gonna love the shit out of this. Because I'm going by so many other cigars that I've smoked previously to see what's on the market. So I'm not going to be like, oh, I want the hot and spicy and like we talked earlier, I wouldn't sell shit. So I'm going by what's on the market, and it's even like now there's some stores that we have that don't want that cigar. They want something because of their market set. They need something on the medium to mild level. But okay, I say, oh, that's what you want? I'm gonna give you total flavor on the mild level. That's what I'm gonna give you.
And see, that's what I like is you also work with your stores too. You don't force the product on them. Is if they're telling you, listen, this full body is not going to sell because like I know I was in one area and they only had medium body cigars. They didn't have full bodies.
Right.
And working in the industry for the short time that I did on the manufacturer side, that was something I learned pretty quickly of what might sell in New York as a full body may not sell in Jersey because they don't like them there. It might not sell in Connecticut, or it might not sell in Pennsylvania because of the fact that people don't like those.
So now, and we go back to, again, let's think about the area of what people eat and what they like and who's there. You might have a lot of older people who just want, give me something to smoke, and they don't want to be turned out all day, or they want to be, I just need something light, just to get me through the day. And you have to look around. That's why when you go in the store, you kind of look and you just kind of watch the customer base.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it. You just like, I got a new cigar. You think you like it, blah, blah, blah. And the cigar is sitting there for 6-7 months and 2 is sold.
Right. So now let me ask you this, Chris. Do you sell boxes, bundles, or how does that work?
I sell everything. I'm a manufacturer. Boxes, bundles, 5-packs. I mean, for the store, to be honest with you, I kind of got out of the direct sales business in a sense. It was just too much for me. It was just like orders out the ass every time. So I said, you know what? Let me just get it into and strategically place them in areas to where people can get to them. So, and then I'm like, the store is helping me sell them, so let me get them to the store, and it's a lot easier for me. But if I have a lot of loyal customers, I'm like, just DM me, and I'll set you up with a payment, how to pay it, and then I'll mail it to you. It's not a big deal, and it's just so much less paperwork with other things. There's so much stuff going on with different states, sending you, like, I see you sold cigars to Louisiana, and they send you a bill. I was just like, you know what? Let me just sell it to the damn brick and mortar, and y'all handle that shit.
Right. Or like you said, you strategically place it in the hands of somebody who might ship, and then you can direct people. Okay, well, you work with Sir Louis, and he ships, so go to him and order it. Or you work with Thompson, they ship, go there and order it, and that's what I think a lot of people miss is everybody tries to do from them direct sales from the manufacturer, which I get because it cuts down on the cost for the customers, but like you said, it adds more of a headache on your end.
So now let me ask you this, since the tariffs happened, how's that cutting down your sales?
From a book standpoint, shipping costs gone up anyway before the tariffs. You know what I'm saying? So
I retired from it.
Yeah, it's gone up, and I get it. So I'm like, you know what? Let's just use this. I'm gonna just use New York. So
75%.
I've been in there for a long time. So you know what I told New York? I'm like, you know what? You've been rocking with me for a long time. I'm never gonna go up on your price. So that's the thing that I'm gonna always do. If you support me and tariffs go crazy, your volume is offsetting a little bit of my costs. So because if for instance I know this stuff is coming in, guess what? I'm gonna get a huge ass order, come in at one time, and I'm not tripping off 10%. You know what I'm saying? Because the volume is gonna offset it. And me doing events or whatever or however the things happen, it's gonna offset it in time. But if you like, no, give me one box, shit, you're gonna get hit from costs. You know what I'm saying? So
now, do you have do you have a minimum order requirements for stores or?
I do depending. Okay, again, I do depending on like if I approach you a store. You know, I'm like, all right, I don't know you, you don't know me. We establish some relationship. I see how big your humidor is or whatever. I'm like, okay. You know, I'll go in and say, oh, where you gonna fit me in at? Oh, they tell me, I'm like, you know what? Let's just be real about it. Let's go with my minimum is usually 10. Let's be real. And we'll discuss something between us to say let's see how this is gonna go. And then like let's do a cut and light and let your customer decide what they want. So there's been shops that I may offer like, all right, you can't fit 10 in here. Let's go with 3. And the next thing they know, they selling the shit out in a couple weeks, and then they want to up it up. So, but if you give me the runaround in the beginning, and you keep fucking with me, you go into 10, and you get into the back of the line.
Right.
Especially when they start smoking that, and they keep asking about it. Okay, we get at you. You're on the list. And I'm not trying to be an asshole. I'm just trying to like, look, the ship has to keep moving. I'm not going to wait. Just say that you can't afford it. Or just say that I can't fit it. Or just say, just don't like keep me running around. I know you got 5,000 other cigars in here, but if you like it, give me a shot.
You know, a lot of people they want to keep with the legacy brand. They don't want to bring in the new guys. They don't want to bring in the new people. And I don't understand why, because if I'm coming in and I'm giving you samples and I'm saying, yo, try this cigar, bring it in, it'll sell, and you keep giving me to run around, I'm gonna tell you, go fuck yourself.
Yeah, two times. I'm gonna hit you 2 times, and you know, and that's it. Because what happens is things start moving like this, like anybody else. It starts gaining momentum, and then next thing you know, like, oh, I keep hearing about this cigar, blah blah blah. Blah. Oh, yeah, we got them. Oh, when you gonna come? When can we get a sample? I already sent you something.
Yeah,
I got other people that I need to serve because I've moved from that area. Like New York is really a area because I'm from New York, and I really need to get into New York, Connecticut area. I really want to service that area because New York shows me love all the time when I come. So and I know the taxes are high as shit.
7.75%.
Yeah, and I'm like, okay, I understand. You know, being from New York, you know, any other person would raise their wholesale up, but I'm like, why would I do that? You got to pay all this shit out the ass,
right?
The price is low, so you can purchase from me again. You know, so yeah, I really want to get in New York, just like I really want to service this area, and just really, I'm kicking fucking doors down, bro. So I'm
you ever heard of Butthead Cigars in Connecticut?
In Danbury, Butthead's Tobacco.
You got to send him a sample pack.
He's a good friend of ours.
Very good.
Yeah, I've Connecticut.
If you come and do the events, because he doesn't mind dealing with reps, but he'd rather deal directly with you.
Yeah.
So he's one of those, like, if you say to him, if he brings your stuff in and he says, okay, let's do a cut and light in 2 weeks.
You got to be there
then,
in 2 weeks.
You know, because I've been there. I've been there and gone to go to cut and lights with owners of cigar brands that I liked. And then I get there, oh, they sent the rep. Well, that doesn't do me what I want to do.
That doesn't. Usually I'll do the first couple, like 2 or 3, and then if I know the store reputation, like once it gets going and it's moving on its own,
Yeah.
then you don't really need to see me. I will still come back, for like, hey, you good or everything. But I always do the events like 2 or 3 times at least.
Yeah, he does
Bro,
them like
he cut a rep off because she did some shady shit.
Yeah,
I don't want to hear no more. They cut her
yeah,
off.
she was doing. He's one of those stores that does a lot of. It's a small store, but he does so much business. Like he also owns a bar as well, a cigar bar.
Okay.
So he's considering maybe shutting down the store and moving everything to the bar because he owns the building. So there's no overhead rent.
Gotcha.
And he did Jack Tarano was there. He did Rick Rodriguez on his last CAO event, and then he moved to West Tampa and he did the West Tampa event there. So what he would do is like he would do, let's say 4 to 7 at the store, and then 7 to 10 you'd go to the bar, and you'd have he'd have food, he'd have drinks
all day
bars. Yeah, so it's I was there when he opened the bar. We were there at his grand opening. It's a beautiful bar. I watched him put it together. Like he's got a bar filled with pennies. I watched him pick every single penny he put on the bar.
We were sitting there one day and I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? He goes,
but when you see it in person, it sounds weird, but when you see it in person,
it's awesome.
It's beautiful.
Did he put acrylic? What is it?
Acrylic, yes. It's an acrylic finish.
Yeah. I've seen somebody do that with quarters. Yeah.
Yeah, it's actually really nice when it's done properly. And he wasn't one of those that just took, all the, took the rolls of pennies and just put them on the bar. Like he picked out like the top like, shiniest pennies in the thing to put in there.
Let me ask you this. So you have no reps in New York and New Jersey, right?
New York, yeah. No. Me and my team.
There you go.
So your team is based out of North Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever considered, because I ask this to everybody because I know sometimes it gets to be an overhead cost. Have you considered maybe having reps in some of these places?
Oh yeah, I've tried some, and I've tried some, and I know, and I tell people all the time, like, I know you selling cigars cannot be a full-time job. You know what I'm saying? Because I it's definitely, unfortunately, I can do it full-time. So all I asked is, like, every month, at minimum, give me 3 to 4 stores. Even if you don't close them or try to close, if you can't close them, let me do it.
Right.
And all I want you to do is service those stores. Like I got my good friend in Ohio. He's up there working Ohio area, all that stuff. And he's, just get me some leads so I can talk it. Because and I'll show them how to close it. If they don't at least do that, then I know you out here hustling. And a lot of times I would send the person to stores like, hey, go look at this store, go check that store, and see what happens. A lot of times, from the reps, at one time I had 12 reps, and everybody like, oh, when am I gonna be able to get into business? I'm like, bruh. So I'm like,
what are you talking about?
You gotta go. So,
and not only that, it's this, and I learned this. This business is not for everybody.
No.
So here's why I asked that. We belong to a private lounge.
Okay.
A former cop. He brought in one of our buddies.
Well, no, because I haven't seen them yet, so I don't know if they're in there yet.
Well, I know he gave him samples, but
samples. He dropped off a whole damn box.
Yeah, he dropped off a box. So my thing is,
but he's a member. He became a member, and he came and I'd seen his cigars in other lounges. I had never got my hands on one. So I went in the humidor, and because he's a friend of ours, I see it. I want to support him.
Mm-hmm.
So I went to the owner. I said, yo, you're bringing these in? He goes, yeah. I'm like, I know the guy that owns this.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, actually, how much?
I grew up with him.
I'm like, how much are they? Because I see him, I'm like, whatever the price is, I don't, if it's, as long as it's not, 25 a stick, I'll buy it. And then he was like, actually, you know what? He goes, I'm thinking about bringing them in. He goes, So just take it and smoke it and let me know what you think. And I was like, okay. And I smoked it. And then the guy who makes them, I called him. I'm like, are you going to close this shop? I said, because I could really use some of your cigars. I was like, I smoked one and they were really good.
Really? Okay.
I was like, it was, I'm one of those guys, like if I see your cigars or West Tampa or his cigars or somebody I know or I interviewed or I've had interactions with, I'm going to buy them because at the end of the day, and what people also don't get too is, and I've explained this to people working for a company, if that store carries my cigars, I'm going to buy my cigars. They go, why? I said, because in the end, they're supporting me. I'm supporting them by buying them. And the circle keeps going around.
Yes, true.
And people don't get that.
True.
And what I've learned too is for every 100 no's you're going to get at least one yes.
Of course.
And that's where I say this business is not meant for everybody.
No.
Because if you can't deal with the rejection, then you're not made for it.
It's that part. That is part of it too. But if you don't understand how to evolve your product, you're not going to last anyway.
Exactly.
And a lot of people just don't understand. You have to be hands-on. And like every time I go back, to the factory, I'm there a lot. I'll say 15% of the time is about cigars. The rest of the time is about relationships, and we're just establishing a bond, and that's it. I mean, it's not about talking cigars all damn day. I mean, it's about, they already know what I want. They already know what the mission is. We get it done quickly. And then we're going about our business throughout the day. If we come up with an idea or something, does it happen that way? Yes. We're like, oh, you know what? Let's do this with this, this or that. And then, we'll go back to there and we'll do the blend. And like, oh, yeah. Or, oh, hell no, that was nasty. But we're building a relationship with each other. And then at the end of the day, and that's what it is. And then when you need something, that happens. And a lot of people don't understand that. They think you can do it over the phone. And it can't. It's impossible. It's impossible for you to not, you have to go and see who your rollers are. You have to go see who your bunches are. You have to go see their personality. What they're doing when they leave work and how they, what their background is.
Right.
And then they have to see you and see that you care about what they're doing. And that's how everything is built. That's how the rapport is built. And, and that's how I've done it from the beginning. It's 15% business. The rest of the time it's just getting to know people and getting to know other owners. And that's kind of how I, get a lot of things that I get.
So let me ask you this, because I'm looking at the card you sent.
Yep.
And I'm looking at the labels on the back. Now, are all of these lines that you have out currently?
Those were all.
Or are they just like evolutions of the bands themselves?
Those were all of our. I'm gonna change that card too, and at PCA. Those are our original.
People can see.
Yeah, those were our original bands when we came out. The black, the gold, the white, and the red. So they were all like different areas. Like the red was mostly Nicaragua, and the black and the white were Dominican Republic. But I'm kind of eliminating a lot of colors. I had too many damn bands. It's like I'm just doing like what everybody else does. I'm gonna use 3 colors or 4. I'm gonna have the blue, which you see there. I'm gonna have the black. I should say 5. I have the platinum, which is the silver one that is not seen yet, which is the platinum series. Excuse me. The blue is for the essence of the leaf. Everything will be blue. The black will be all Dominican series. The red will be all Nicaraguan cigars.
So I think you sent OG a black and silver one.
I sent OG because I don't know OG's palette. So I'm gonna tell you what I sent OG. I sent him 3 cigars. I sent him a 58 by 4. It's like a medium, but it's
that's the one they threw through this morning.
Yeah, it's so much flavor in that cigar. It's crazy. Like people
Yeah,
like,
blew
oh,
through it this morning. I'm like, bro, how do you blow through that cigar?
yeah, it's cigar. It's so much flavor in that cigar. And I give it to people like, oh, I don't really smoke and I need something mild. I'm like, here. They're like, it's big. I'm like, trust me, smoke it. And they smoke it and they like, bow. It's like, oh my God, it was so good. And then I think I sent him one. I gave him one. I think I gave him the Corojo. I think I did. And I
and
gave
then
him
the blue one and told him to for the show.
Which is what I'm smoking. Which
it's
I'm still smoking
it. Yeah. So that one I gave it to him because I know he's up for in the New York area. I was thinking about sending it to you guys, but I figured you guys are more on the medium to full side.
Yeah, I smoke. I tell everybody I smoke everything. I prefer more of my fuller body cigars, but that doesn't mean that I'm not going to try somebody's Connecticut. I'm not going to try their Habano because when I started smoking, I only smoked. No, when I started smoking, I tried an acid blondie. It wasn't for me. But after that, I would only smoke the full body Maduro cigars. So over the years, I've had to kind of go back and refine my palate from the beginning. And people are like, well, why did you do that? I said, because at the end of the day, if I plan on putting out my own cigars, which we started quite a while ago, and I plan on eventually picking that back up and doing it.
What happened was we started, and then my wife got deathly sick.
Well, we started it and then kind of went. We didn't have the connections we have now with different people who work in all different factories. So we're working with somebody with some of their stuff they had already had as like their lines. We had used them as an example of like, let's see what people would like.
Excuse me.
And, I handed them out to people and people loved them. But I was giving out 60 ring gauge cigars. Because at the time, that's all I smoked.
That's all you liked. Correct.
That's all I liked. I didn't smoke a lot of Toros, a lot of Robustos, a lot of Grand Toros. I didn't smoke all of that. So now that I've had a chance to kind of go back over the years and, refine that palate and kind of find the sweet spot, now I would say I would put out, a Robusto or a Toro or even a Grand Toro, and then eventually expand on that line to maybe a 60 ring and then a 54 and a 52 and then a Robusto. But I would go, Toro, probably a Toro first and then a Robusto. Like if we were going to put out, his line and my line, I would put, whatever, but I wouldn't do a 60 off the bat because I feel when you do that, that kind of pigeonholes you into a big ring gauge cigar.
Well, it does, but you should always start off on the smaller gauge because you want to understand where it's coming from and then kind of build up. Yeah, and build up to because the 60 might be the worst gauge for that particular tobacco you're using.
And that's exactly what I've had. What you're saying is exactly what I've had to learn and what I've heard from so many different people. Like, we've gone and hung out with Fred from Espinal Puro and we've sat with him and I'm like, I've considered a 60 ring. He goes, and same thing you said, he goes, you're better off trying it in a Robusto and a Toro first. Because, depending on the place you're going, they may not be able to blend, blending a 60 ring gauge is hard because you have to perfect the blend for that size. And like you said, each size is different. And if you can't perfect that blend in that size, then you can't make that size.
Right. Yeah.
So it's a very interesting process to say the least.
Oh yeah.
But, and again, everybody said the same thing you said. The best way to do it is go to the factory.
Yeah. Go and see, go and see what they're doing. Go and see if that is if you have a connection, because anybody will make a cigar for you,
right?
But what they make the next.
I'm gonna go to the nearest store and buy some some
listen,
bundles.
I won't
just wrap my label around.
I won't knock. and see,
he knows what I'm talking about.
There's people that do that, but the ones I always say I find the best, not are the ones that just go buy bundles. I call them because I've dealt with a lot of guys in the boutique industry and they've all started out with, they're called, I guess in the factories, they're called white label projects.
Well, they're more of every factory just makes a bunch of cigars sometimes, mostly for, we'll use DR for instance. A lot of people just like making cigars, so they make a bunch of cigars, and then the community buys them.
Right.
Some, they may like, because blenders are they're like artists, so they're trying something all the time.
Exactly.
So they may get some blend in. They're like, you know what? Let me try it with this tobacco. Let me go ahead and make 100, or let me make 500. And it just, and you get to a point where they just don't go anywhere because nobody wants them or whatever. So,
or they have a defect or something.
It's sometimes it's not for that region of the DR or whatever. So, and that's the one thing I bring up because of the people I've dealt with, like Cigar Clown started out that way, and a few other smaller brands have started out that way of, like you said, going in and buying the ones that they may have made or somebody wanted, then decided they didn't want that one, and it sits there, and there's nothing wrong with it. They just didn't want that one; they wanted a different one.
So now
so they'll go in and buy those, and then put their labels on them. Which, again, if you're just starting out, that's not a bad way to go. If you can go to some of these factories like an El Artista, like where you guys are, and get hands on those, because they may not be bad cigars. It just may be that person's palate might have changed. They decided they didn't want that specific blend.
So, Chris, let me ask you this. For somebody like us who start now, and Fred had told us this before because we met Fred when he first started. This is a guy that has nobody in the industry, and he told us the story. He met us at Fanatic Cigar House, and he had nobody in the industry. He was smoking cigars.
I'm talking about Fred
Espinal Puro.
Oh, my dude,
Fred's
a good friend of ours. I could call Fred right now and be like, "Yo, get on here. I got Chris on." But the thing is, he said to us, I got no ties to the industry. I could care less about everybody else. He took his last $500 and bought cigars. Now he owns a factory and he's building a house. And people say, "How do you know these guys?" I said, "Bro, when you show up to an event,
we met him.
Hello.
We met him during COVID.
Yes.
Yeah.
During when Instagram Live became a thing, and you would get on with a lot of these guys, and that's when we met him. And then we found out he was in Jersey. And he's like, "Oh, I'm 45 minutes from Fanatics." I'm like, "Oh, so he goes, okay." He goes, "Well, listen, let's plan a day. Let's meet up. Let's sit down." I smoke, his original runs of his reds and his blue back then.
We used to make cigars at the same factory in the beginning.
Oh,
really? Okay.
I met Fred when he were. It's funny. I was me and Fred. It was funny how we met. Doesn't matter, but we met when he was getting ready to do his own thing, where we were making some of his cigars at my factory, because his wife had ties to the factory as well. This is
he told us.
It was smaller then. We were like, this is the beginning stages. It's funny how we were all at the same point at some point, and then we chopped it up, realized we were from the same area. We went, I told him to come to Vegas, hang out with me in Vegas, and we did a whole bunch of stuff together. We chop it up all the time. Every time I go to DR and he's there, we get together. And now that he's back in Jersey, his wife's back in Jersey, I'll probably see him more than I would even in DR. It's crazy. I used to see him more in DR than I see him in the States. And I used to be in New York all the time. So me and Fred go back a ways. Yeah, me and Fred.
But it's funny, like people say,
and it really shows like how big the industry is, but how small it is at the same time.
It's funny because people say, you're always talking to Fred, you're always talking to this one. And somebody said to Joey, "You don't know Ricky." And he goes,
"Oh, no. Rick Rodriguez." I'm like, okay. I'm like, I mean, sure, I don't know him.
And he goes, "Prove it to me." I said, "Joey, just fucking call Rick."
Well, and I said, I'm not. They're like, I was like, listen, and I tell people, I was like, I don't brag that I have his number. I said, but we became friends at his last CAO event when we were getting ready to put cigars out. We had kind of sat with him, and I was like, "Yeah, I'm getting ready to put my own stuff out." I was like,
he goes, "Do me a favor." He goes, "Send me some." I'll let you know how to take.
Yeah, it was just a normal conversation. I was just picking his brain because he's so receptive to helping people and doing that. And then, the next thing was well, I'd love to taste your cigars and give my feedback. I'm like, of course.
So,
you know, like somebody like you who's willing to taste my cigars that are just going to come out, you know, of course I want your feedback. You know, and it blew my mind that somebody like him who, again, people feel is unattainable to become friends with or talk to because of who he is.
You know, it's like you said, Chris. I was in the wrestling business.
Jesus Christ.
I worked for all the wrestling companies, right? So you have to be able to take criticism.
Oh, yeah.
It's bad or good. And I'll never, ever forget this in my whole wrestling career. Tom Zink told me when I met him, he goes, Dave, at the time, he called me Dave, but then he goes, oh, I'm sorry, kayfabe, boss, big dog. He goes, you have to take constructive criticism. You have to take bad criticism. If I fuck up a match, I want you to tell me I messed it up. So, you got these young guys now. You tell them, yo, dude, you missed the spot. Yo, don't tell me what I did. Bro, I've been in this business 30 years.
No, I got a question. Are y'all related?
It's my son.
Okay. I didn't know that was your son. I was looking at the dynamics of the conversation. I'm like, they gotta be related.
That's my son, bro.
Yeah.
How you not know that? You sent me the cigars, dummy.
I didn't know. I mean, I didn't put it together. I just saw the first name. You know, it could be like just send it to Chris and Mike, but put it under my. I didn't.
Yeah.
I don't assume anything. So I'm like, I didn't assume, but then I see the conversation. I'm like, these two gotta be related.
Nah, this is my son, man. This is my ride or die. Before we go together.
And this podcast is something we thought about during COVID.
Yes.
Okay.
Like I bought the I think it was one of the old, I don't want to say old, but it was like a Z1000 or something, like the little podcast microphone that you could plug into, and
it didn't work.
But it worked, but I couldn't figure out how to use it. So it was kind of along the lines of like, we wanted to do this, but I didn't have the right equipment. And then when I started really looking into it, I'm like, this is going to cost a lot more than I thought it would.
Then shout out to our old.
And then when this started really after that on Instagram with me and another guy.
You know who used to get Kenzuki Cigar Club.
Kenzuki Cigar Club is what he used to go by. His name is Kyle.
They make their own cigars.
Oh, yeah.
So me and him used to get on Instagram,
watching wrestling,
and go live and just sit here like we are, smoking cigars, talking wrestling. And it kind of led into, we were like, well, let's just take it off of the lives. Let's go privately so we can say whatever we want, whether it's good, bad, or indifferent about the cigars we're smoking, but nobody's judging it. And then we brought on OG.
And then hold on.
And
so I'm sitting here one day.
Yeah.
And Joey goes, Dad, you are now the owner of TurnbucklesnStogiespodcast. I said,
I was sitting in here.
What?
I was sitting in here smoking, and then I think he was out there or he was working. And then I said to him the next day, I'm like, listen, I was like, we're gonna start a podcast, me, Kyle, and him, and OG and him. And I was like, but we want to bring you on for the wrestlers. Because I know people, but I don't know them like he does.
Right.
So I'm
so
like,
you need an expert. Yeah.
Right. So I was like, okay. And then Kyle had to step away because he had,
7 kids.
Well, no, besides that, he had some other stuff he had to take care of. And then we took it over, the three of us, and then we were kind of traveling and taking it to different lounges and stuff like that. And then it got to be a lot for OG. So, he was going through his stuff, so he stepped away for a little while. We've never taken his seat away. We've told him, welcome back. There's a third spot.
Life happens.
Like I tell Kyle, I'm like, if you ever want to come back and you want to do a guest spot, I'm like, let me know. I'll send you everything.
If you ever want to come on Sunday when we on and you want to come on with us, just send me a message, yo.
Right.
But do me a favor.
Yeah.
Answer your phone. I'm tired of hearing you have reached Carolina Blue.
Oh, I'll give you my other number. That's for
Oh, hold on. I'm gonna give you my other number.
Look, now I know you guys. You can have my other number, but I don't know. I gotta be like, you got to do that. You got a business. You're like,
I know.
And that's just that's how this started, was all off of Instagram during COVID.
And I got to shout out to OG, and you can tell him this tomorrow. I shouted out to him that he turned us on to MBR Radio, which is our sponsor.
And ironically, not ironically, but it's a veteran-owned station.
Hold on. Cool. Veteran-owned first responders, and I'm a former first responder. I was at 9/11 for almost a year. I was going back and forth from work down to the trade center, back to work, back to the trade center. So that's how we got on MBR Radio, and I think we are the longest reigning podcast
besides
on his station, besides his own.
The guy that owns it, besides his podcast.
Everybody comes on and they get there for 6 months and they leave and you don't hear nothing.
Well, you know what it is? Because at one point it was 6 months and they were giving you the equipment and everything. People were like, okay, cool. They would do it and leave. And then it was, instead of every week, it was once a month, once every 2 months, once every
we make sure we go every week.
But what it is
we drop a show.
Right.
And then we can drop it. Like if I want to take a day off or he wants to take a day off, I'm like,
there are times that we've gone, I think in 2 years we've taken maybe at most, and not all consecutively, a month off with no content out on a Sunday. For 2 years.
And guess what? People still come back and watch us.
And it's one of those things, like a lot of people don't want to produce their own show. Because I'll produce my show. I don't care.
We have no filter. I mean, we have to, us two, not us.
Are you on YouTube or no?
Yes.
YouTube. So the interview we just did was live on YouTube, Facebook, Roku TV, Amazon TV.
Damn.
Spotify.
It's going to go up on Spotify in the next day or so.
So we all over.
Yeah, MB Radio's got a Roku app that streams to the Amazon Fire TV app.
Okay.
So if you're sitting around on a Sunday and you ain't got nothing to do, you're like, oh, you know what? I only say this because one of our other friends does this. Every Sunday night, he goes back on our YouTube
and looks at it.
And he goes, my Sunday nights are for my cigar and to watch your guys' show.
That's what's up.
Listen, we have good, like my buddy, I retired from the post office. So my buddy Scott, every time I walked in on an overtime on a Sunday, he goes, or a Monday, he goes, yo, that show on Sunday was tremendous. I said, thank you. And somebody said, what do you mean his show? He goes, oh, you don't know? Big Dog has the show. I'm like, shut up.
But listen, it's crazy because, and to kind of what I didn't realize is, and again, this is where I say people pay attention to what goes on in the industry. I mean, I'm
Look, he's like,
Now, since we nubbing it, I want your honest opinion. I like to know. What is that? As far as all the stuff you smoke, where is that signature rank at, and where does that Corojo rank at?
Out of all the stuff I've smoked so far, whether it's on the show
or off the show,
this
ranks in my top 2.
What's the number 1? Because I'm gonna get something beat.
What the hell is the number 1? I'm gonna be honest with you. Fred sent us the cojito.
Oh, the little gallitos.
Cojitos, whatever they call them.
I gotta smoke Fred's gallitos, and I'm gonna see what you're talking about.
Yo,
because I gotta see what you're talking about. I can't say because I haven't smoked it.
This is up there, very up there.
But see, I put you in the top 2. Normally, I put people in the top 10.
No, this is definitely,
and not because you're here.
This is definitely opened.
When I'm done, you might be number 1.
A part of my, I would say this has opened a part of my palate that hasn't been opened up in a while.
That's what she said.
And
listen, this is why people like our podcast. Because we don't have no filter. The only word I have to watch, because we signed with a big company now, so I have to watch the F word.
We watch because it was bad. Like there was a point every word out of our mouth was F this.
I get it. Yeah.
I tell people like, listen, it's
2 guys sitting here interviewing.
I said all this is like if we're sitting in a cigar lounge.
Like if I met you in a cigar lounge, I'm gonna be like, yo, Chris, what the F is up? You're gonna be like, what the F is up? I'm like,
and
yo,
then
what you got in your cigar box?
When we want to say it, I just use this.
Yeah, you mute it out.
The commercial.
I just do this.
What the fuck? And then he goes,
yes. I got one of those too.
But it's, I mean, this right here.
You ain't gotta tell me. You ain't gotta tell me.
It's one of those like
you ain't gotta tell me.
You don't gotta tell me. This is
like,
what I want you to do. This is what I want you to do.
If somebody asked me to describe this to them,
this is what. Yeah, tell me what you gonna say.
This is one of those things that I tell people. I can tell you about it.
But
just go smoke. Yeah, I can tell you this cigar is fantastic. The transitions, the this, the that. Go smoke it.
Listen,
because at the end of the day, what's good for my palate
might not be good for
may not be good for yours.
Listen, I can tell you it's better than sex.
I can tell you,
but that shit ain't happening.
I can tell you there's gonna be people, and I'm gonna say this now because I already know it's gonna come. There's gonna be people that's gonna sleep on this cigar. They're gonna underrate it, and it's gonna be one of those that when they hear it from us, from maybe Half Wheel, whoever, then they're gonna start to realize, okay, we got to keep an eye on this brand. When I've always heard about your brand, I've always paid attention. I just never had the opportunity to smoke it.
Bro,
I tell people, they're like, oh, what about Carolina Blue? I said, I can tell you right now, I've heard his cigars are phenomenal. Have you smoked it? I said, I've never smoked it. I said, but if my trusted people that I smoke with or that I know are telling me that cigar is good or his brand is good, then I know, okay, keep an eye on this. And if I see it, grab it because I'm not going to be disappointed.
When I got in that cigar bomb, I looked at all the cigars and I said, I've never had a Carolina Blue.
But you had heard of it.
And I heard of it and I smoked it.
That was
and I sent the message to the person that sent it to me. And I was like, yo.
Just so people can see.
Where do I get this?
I don't do this very often.
I said, where do I get this?
Like my fingers are on fire and I really don't care.
Yeah. So am I. My fingers are burning right now.
Good. That's what I want to see. I want to have everybody's fingers on fire across the United States smoking Carolina Blue.
Listen, if you ain't smoking a Carolina Blue, I burned it the wrong way, but listen, smoke that shit.
I can tell you right now,
smoke it like it's a joint.
I was gonna wait until tomorrow to smoke the Corojo.
You're gonna smoke it after we hang up.
I don't think it's gonna last that long.
You're gonna smoke them when we hang up.
Well, the order I would have smoked, and you can smoke it in any order.
Look,
is
the order.
Smoke the Corojo first, and then smoke that one. But
why didn't you tell me that yesterday before I lit it?
But because you had already smoked it, I already knew you was gonna smoke it when I saw the picture. You're like, he get ready to smoke it.
You texted me back.
I'm like, you get ready to smoke it. I wanted you to smoke that tomorrow because I wanted to see your face, like your son's face. That's the face I want to see.
I can tell you the face I made was like, my neighbor was like, what's wrong?
When he lit it up, I was at work. I had to go back to work when we got the package. I didn't get a chance to smoke it, but just from smelling the foot of the cigar itself, I already knew going into it that it was going to be something I was going to enjoy because of all of that. The notes off of the foot was like that.
Oh my God.
Like you said, that spice, that chocolate, the espresso, you got like the leather and slight earthy undertones, which is good because a main reason, me personally, I stopped smoking a lot of Dominican cigars was because when you smoked them, it was just that real grit, earthy grass taste. So I stopped smoking them, and then there was a few I smoked, and people like, you know where that's from? I'm like, nah, I don't. But I would do my research. I'm like, oh, that's Dominican. Okay, I like this one now. And then I slowly started finding ones that I liked, and then eventually, as my palate developed, I was able to be okay with smoking them again because of that. If they're done right, the key.
The thing is, the turn that I saw, because the Dominican cigars are trying to compete with the Nicaraguan cigars, trying to compete with them. Everybody knows Nicaraguan cigars are strong and has an earthy taste. a chocolate taste. I was like, why are you trying to do that when you have every fruit in the world grown in DR? Stay what you know. And you know, you look at what I want to say, again, we look at other companies that make stuff and they want to make it strong. I'm like, but your strength is not like pepper. Your strength is spices. Oh, there you go.
I told you, after smoking that, I knew it wouldn't last long, and I was like, I'm saving it, but I'm like, I can't. I can't.
His 18. He's been going to lounge with me since he's 16.
I think it was like 14. I want to say 14 or 15, maybe. But I would go with him after work, and they didn't. As long as I didn't smoke, they didn't mind.
Right. Yeah, let's say that. When he went to the lounge when he was 18, he said, Dad, I want to go to lounge with you. I said, you better talk to the boss. The boss said, one cigar. I gave him the Blondie. He started smoking it and threw it in the ashtray.
So I'm going to tell you exactly how that came about. I started smoking it because I didn't know what I was smoking. So everybody, including him, which I would recommend is a good starter cigar for somebody.
The Blondie?
Well, who's never smoked anything before ever. They were like, get something, give him that, let him try that. At the time, that was kind of where everybody wanted. And
don't do that.
I started smoking it.
Right.
And as I was smoking it, it was okay. And then I was talking to somebody and it went right up my nose.
Mm-hmm.
Stopped me dead in my tracks mid-conversation. And I didn't like it after that.
Yeah, you did. You did outside.
Like I tell everybody, it ain't a knock on that specific cigar. Just I didn't like it.
No,
you got two.
I've told, and the guys that I'm friends with that Drew, I'm like, listen, I smoked the Blondie. It wasn't for me, and their answer was the same as yours. That's okay because we have so many other cigars for you to try that would be for your palate. But after that, I went in the humidor, and I think
you grabbed a triple Ligero.
Yes, so it wasn't the Asylum yet.
No, it was
the only Rocky that I went out of my way to find.
The three things bind
the
together.
Only Rocky I've ever went out of my way to find, and that was the Super Ligero. When he made those.
Okay.
When he made those. Notice how I said I used to go out of my way. That's not a knock on his brand. It's just it's not for me that much anymore.
Right.
Certain ones I'll give a try, like the Edge 21st anniversary, whatever it was. I enjoyed. I smoked that, and then I went from that to the Asylum 770s.
Look at this shit.
You think the Asylum 770s are strong?
At the time, I did.
All right, put that out.
Good. That's all. You have to say no more. Okay, there you go.
Now, because I've smoked so many other, whether it's boutique, big name brands, it's strong, but it's not what I'm used to anymore. Because I smoked a cigar with a company I worked with that was all Ligero. Binder, wrapper, filler, everything was Ligero. After I've smoked that, I was like, okay, nothing is really super strong anymore because I've smoked something that was Ligero from the wrapper all the way down to the binder and filler. Now, after I haven't smoked that for probably a year or two now, I'm starting to find a lot more of the boutique cigars are making more fuller body cigars than a lot of the big name brands that are stronger.
Well, it goes back again to the process. They making value. I mean, you make valid points. You're the Asylum. I don't know how long they process their tobacco, but if they're trying to make something to like knock your damn feet off, they should have let that tobacco. They should be having some aged tobacco in at least 5 years.
Right.
Because what I just gave you, that cigar that you just smoked is stronger than the Asylum. And it's a medium cigar.
That's why I said
man, that one I just finished, boy. Woo,
so
baby,
even so now that we're on that
have to
subject,
order some from you. I'm gonna have to order some from you.
Now that we're on that subject, because it's gonna kind of bring back to what I've always told people. Don't let the wrappers fool you on the cigar.
Everybody
Correct.
looks for labels.
Well, no. As far as what's a full body and what's not.
There you go.
Because a lot of people, and I've said this to people, and I said, listen, I'm not telling you because somebody told me. I'm telling you because I've learned this.
Right.
Just because it's a Connecticut wrapper
Don't mean it's mild.
doesn't mean it's a mild cigar. Like, and when I tell people, if a Connecticut is done right, if Connecticut's are done right, then it's gonna have that bite. It's gonna have the spice you're looking for.
Yeah.
You know, and the one I always gravitate people towards when they're looking for stuff like that is the undercrown shade that Drew makes. And it's just because that's what a lot of people have in their humidors. In these, whether it's a smoke shop, a cigar shop, you know, people are like, well, I'm like, if you're looking for something to try that, and I always say something to try that's going to be good and it's not going to taste terrible, that's the one I go to.
Mm-hmm.
And I say, listen, it's not because I'm friends with guys there. It's not because, you know, I like that brand. It's a fact of, I know I'm giving you something that you're going to enjoy and hopefully continues your experience in smoking cigars.
It's like Eddie Murphy says on Coming to America. Aha.
I have to send you.
Aha.
I have to send you when you get something. When I send you something again, I'm gonna send you to Nicaraguan, Connecticut, and the Dominican, Connecticut.
Okay.
Oh,
And,
you know, that's like Fred made cigars for a friend of ours, right? And when he sent us the cigars, he was on a show, and it was a Connecticut. I'm like, Jim, I don't smoke Connecticut's.
Mm-hmm.
He goes, Dave, smoke Connecticut.
Same thing we tied back to
smoke Connecticut.
Don't let the wrapper fool you.
But you know,
I smoked it. I was like, yo, I called Fred up. I said, yo, what the hell did you do to Jim's cigar? He goes, what do you mean? I said, it's a Connecticut. He goes, I understand, but it's not a Connecticut. I said,
and then same thing, Fred called me and he was like, did you smoke it? I said, no. He goes, what are you going to smoke now? I said, I don't know. He goes, you have the Connecticut in front of you? I'm like, yeah. He goes, smoke that. I was like, yeah, but I was like, I'll smoke it and call you back. And same thing you said, you know, he wanted to see our react. Like he wanted to hear my reaction as I'm smoking it. And I was like, I lit it up and I'm like, aha. And I'm like, bro, what did you do? He was like, you like that, right? I'm like,
yeah, I'm not gonna say this is true, but I'll stand by it. I gave Fred a Nicaraguan Connecticut in Vegas, but when he came with me, and that's all I was given as my samples. Everybody's like, smoke this. If you don't like it, I won't see you tomorrow. I just gave it to him. Smoke it. I'm not gonna pitch you. This is what I did. I said, I'm not gonna sit here and give you a story. I'm not gonna pitch you, whatever. Take this Connecticut, go smoke it. If you like it, I'll see you tomorrow. If you don't like it, I won't see you tomorrow.
So now are you going to PCA this next year?
I'll be there I'll be there this April. Yeah, April coming up.
I gotta join PCA so I can go.
Yeah, and I gave it to Fred, right? And he's like, yo. I said, this ain't your granddaddy's damn Connecticut, Fred.
Listen, but and I love when I get those Connecticut's like that because then it makes me want to go, okay, what else do they have that's deceiving?
Mm-hmm. And that's what I say. And I use the story of sandwiches. I'm like, okay, let's take a sandwich because people don't know. I'm like, all right, let's take a turkey and Swiss sandwich, right? They're like, yeah, and you put it on wheat bread. Your first initial bite, you're gonna taste the wheat bread, and after that, you're not gonna taste nothing. I'm like, okay, so I'm gonna put mayo on it, and you're gonna taste eventually the, whatever you taste, or mustard. Then I'm gonna put some horseradish on it. So what you gonna taste after the second bite? The horseradish. Okay, so it's the filler. It's all in the filler. This ain't got nothing to do with the bread.
That's
on the
a good example. I never thought about that.
I
never thought about that, Chris.
It's nothing to do with it. Yeah, I mean the sandwich, the bread adds some value to it, but it's the meat and what's in the filler and the meat in the sandwich.
Wow.
That's why you get a sandwich like that and you add your condiment of what you want. It ain't like give me white bread and nothing, or give me wheat. It's like a bagel. What you put on the bagel what makes the bacon
Just a
good.
smear.
Yeah, however you want it. You want
Yeah,
butter
put a
and
smear on it
jelly.
about that big.
Yeah, you know,
Right in
you
the
want
middle of the bagel.
Right, you want cream cheese, whatever you want. That's what's making the sandwich. That's what's making your
It's
your
true.
meal.
Listen, bro.
Yeah.
We want you back on when you
for
release
sure.
the 10th anniversary. All jokes aside, bro.
Yeah, that's gonna be fire. That's gonna be fire.
Listen,
yo, I'm gonna tell you,
you have been one of our best interviews besides Pedro. You have been one of our best interviews yet.
Thank you. I smoke those cigars now because I have a few, and after I smoke it, I'm like this.
Listen, I tell everybody I like cigars that not that they knock you on your ass, but like you said, that relax you and kind of just put you like those are the cigars I make like my last cigar the night before I want to go to sleep. So I'm fully relaxed. I put all my stuff away. I go inside. I lay down, and then I go to sleep.
That's what you're supposed to do. I mean, I can see smoking stuff all day, but for the most part, it's for relaxation, and that's what you want to do, and you want to enjoy it. You know, you may drink a beer, you may have some bourbon, whatever you do. You just want to like chill and just relax and watch the game or whatever you do.
Yeah,
that's what it's for.
So Chris, tell us how people can reach out to you because he's going to post it up on YouTube.
Okay.
Facebook.
Yeah, just hit me up. Hit me up on any other social media platforms. You can DM me at CarolinaBlueCigars.com, Facebook, Instagram. Those are the two I use for the most part. If you want to hit me directly, you can go Chris at CarolinaBlueCigars.com and somebody from the team will get back with you. The next thing I say, once you guys start smoking these cigars, don't gatekeep them. Tell people they're fucking good because they are good. And
right now,
I tell people if they're good, I tell people. Good. But then when they tell me what's your favorite one, I go, I can't tell you that one.
Yeah,
and it's funny.
They go, why can't you tell me? I said, because then if I tell you,
right,
then there's not enough for me to smoke.
Hold on. So, Chris, even though you are a distributor, manufacturer, besides your own cigars, what cigar do you go to smoke? Like if you're just fucking around in the lawn or whatever.
I'm gonna tell you which ones I like. I'm gonna just because like I said, I'll go in the store. Like somebody posted a cigar the other day. I'm like, oh really? Let me go smoke it. And so like, oh really? Let me go smoke a store, and I'll go in like, let me have it. But anyway, I like Warp cigars. I like Christian Aurora cigars. I like his brother Aladino cigars. I like Dapper's cigars.
Aladino's from New York City Island, you know that, right?
Yeah. Let's see. I like what else do I like? Like I'm trying to think who's in my humidor. I got so many cigars in there.
I mean, feel free to send some my way. I mean, I'm not hesitating. Joking, I'm joking.
It's so many. Like really lately, on this this little journey, I haven't had any like, oh, let me go grab this one again. I've been like seeing what people have been making. But if I see something, like if I walk into a store and I'll go looking, the question I'll ask is like, hey, what you got in here that's new or like gives me some transition and complexity? A lot of people don't understand what that means. So I'll be like, oh, then they'll bring me something very linear. I'm like, don't want that. But I'm looking for something because like I've pretty much smoked everything in a store. Like when I say everything, from the asylums to the whatever, I'm grabbing anything to the West Tampa. I smoked everything West Tampa. Like for a while, I kind of did West Tampa for a little bit, and I smoked everything they had. I smoked all the CAO. I smoked everything to say, okay, so when I stand in front of you to pitch, I'm not going to say pitch. If you say, I smoke this, I can just go right to this, smoke that. If you don't like it, come back see me.
I do the same thing. Like when I go in a cigar shop, I'm like, So what do you have new? They're like, oh, the West Tampa. I said, I smoked that already. No, you haven't had this one. I said, been there, done that.
Yeah,
no, it's not. I said, been there, done that. And then they're like, oh, we have this one. I'm like, been there, done that. And they're like, what do you mean? It just came out. I'm like, been there, done that, bro.
Yeah, it's some that I like. I mean, I have a lot of work that I've had for a long time. I had the Basin, the original ones that I've had those for a long time.
The original ones were slim.
Yeah, I keep a bunch just to have. Like I have a bunch of Fuente ones that some rare ones. I have those. So it's really nothing. Like if I go in the store and I'm like, I really want to smoke, I'll go to a Christian Aurora cigar, or I'll go. I mean, yeah, I'll grab a West Tampa because I kind of like one of those. But now I kind of like the my father's one.
The blue one.
Yeah, the Honduran one. It's pretty
blue
good.
One. Yep.
That's great cigar.
Yeah, I'll look for that again.
Bro, we're going to jump off. We've been on like an hour and 20 minutes besides whatever. But yo, Chris, thank you, my brother.
Yes.
I fucking love having you on. You opened a lot of doors, bro. When I say a lot of doors, you opened a lot of doors than anybody else that came on.
Oh, I'm gonna open the door. I'm gonna kick it in. I'm gonna kick it in. But yeah, I had a good time. And tune in tomorrow. I'm looking forward to talking to OG. And I like him. He's a cool dude. And
I'm home tomorrow, so I ain't
working.
Home
tomorrow. So
yeah, I want to see his face when he lights up the signature.
Hopefully, and he goes to me, he goes, oh, he sent me this one. You don't have that one. I said, bro.
I feel like I should wait on this one.
I said, bro, the one that you're trying to smoke, I'm sure if I ask Chris for it and send it to him, Chris ain't gonna send you that. I said,
I said it to you. No big deal.
I kind of feel like I should wait for this now.
No,
I said to him, I said,
I already cut it, so I mean, I
first of all,
smoke it
I
now.
said to him, I said, why don't you just come back to the podcast? We're not traveling. Because what happened was we were traveling to different lounges.
And then it not only that, you know what? The traveling got to be a lot.
It did. I was staying in a hotel.
Trying to find a lounge that'll let us film, and then, we got to get there.
And we were
11.
also on at 7:00 in the morning.
Well, yeah. But now being on at 11, but especially during football season, it's hard.
So I said to him, why don't you just come back? You could have jumped. I said to him, jump on today with us. Smoke the cigar. He goes, yeah, but I don't have nothing for tomorrow. I said, motherfucker, you could talk about it tomorrow.
No, I want him to smoke it. I want him to get his little audience in there because it's, like I said, I don't have many. I'm just putting people's feet to the fire right now. Like y'all out here making these cigars. It's time for y'all to step up.
What you doing, motherfucker? You starting a bonfire.
It's starting. It's time to step up or get out the business. That's how I'm looking at it right now. It's time for you to step up or get out the business. You're in the way. You in my way. I got stuff to do.
Yo, do me a favor. Do me a favor. Get out of Chris's way. Because I'm here to help him. Get out his way, you heard? Move. Get out the way. Get out the way, bitch.
Y'all are crazy. But yeah, I appreciate y'all guys. And I gotta go myself. So
Chris, this is our podcast. Thank you for coming on, dog.
Yes,
I take my hat off. Thank you for everything,
my brother. Taking time out of your Sunday to come hang out with us for a couple hours. We appreciate it.
Anytime.
Thank you. Have a good day, bro.
All right, man.
That was fucking dope.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in to Military Broadcast Radio. As we wrap up today's show, we want to remind you that the podcast of today's episode will be available right after we go off the air. So if you missed any part of the show or want to listen again, be sure to check it out. And remember, we're here to support and honor our veterans. Your stories and experiences matter, and we are committed to giving you a platform to share them. That's right. We're here to give our veterans a voice. So don't forget to catch the podcast and stay connected with us. Giving our veterans a voice.